Hello, YouTube. This is Rudy from Market Driven doing a Manheim Market Report or MMR on a 2020 Tesla Model X Long Range Plus. I can do long range or also performance, but as of today, I'm only going to do Long Range Plus just because I feel like a lot more people get that option in that vehicle. Let's plug in the miles 45,327. Right. Okay. So the average odometer on this vehicle is 45,327. Base MMR is 51,700. Average condition is 3.6, which is pretty low, I would say, on these vehicles. I would think they'll be a lot much higher, but they're not. Retail, estimated retail value is 59,200, so that gives you like a good 10 grand spread on that vehicle. Let's go look at transactions. So if you look, there hasn't been much in the past 8 days, but we can see a couple. So for example, so this one, I do want to give you a breakdown and see if MMR does fall in between this value. So the last one that sold for 43,400, has 70,000 miles and scored 2.1, which is really bad. 2.1 is pretty bad. At that moment, vehicle probably just runs and drives. A lot of body damage on it. Just like this one right here. Wow, this one scored really bad too. Like, so this one the same day, both in Pennsylvania as well. Sold for 52,500, but since it has an asterisk right there, it won't fall into the sample. It could be because of the CR on this one, but this one has 15,000 miles, 500, and scored 2.6. Wow, that's a really, really low score. You would think that the car would be near perfect, especially with that mileage, given that this one, right the day before, in August 31st, sold for 60,250. This one had 13,000 miles, and the condition report was 4.1 in New York. So you can see, that roughly they're kind of all over the place, which I want to do a breakdown on this one too. But what I also want to do is, if you look at historical averages, past 30 days, 30 days ago, the MMR transactions were average was 52,300, and for reference, as of today, it's 51,700. So that is a $600 spread in 30 days. That's not that bad, actually, in an expensive vehicle. 6 months ago, the vehicle was trading around 60,300. Giving it today, that's roughly an $8,300 spread. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. And so 6 months, the vehicle has appreciated around, or they've been trading for, around $8,000 cheaper. But if we look at this right here, a year ago, these vehicles were trading at around $80,000. Now this is wholesale, okay? So this is only wholesale between dealers to dealers at auctions, and since it's only MMR, it's only at Manheim auctions. That's $80,000. So as a reference, today, as we can tell right here, they're trading at a $30,000 difference. As from a year ago. So that's an expensive vehicle. People that have bought a year ago, at this moment now they're coming back to trade in. Now they want something else. Now you have to take that into the fact that they bought a year ago and they didn't pay cash, or even if they financed, at that point, you know that if they paid cash or they finance, even at that, they're taking a big depreciation hit. You have to appraise the vehicle based off today's valuations and predict what next week or in the following month it's going to do. We are going into the slower months of the year, so you do have to take that into consideration, and understand, okay, hey, if I buy this vehicle, how long is it going to take me to sell? What is the market day supply on this vehicle? But now looking at it, someone coming in and saying, hey, I want to trade out of this Model X. He doesn't want to go into something back, whatever it is, could be another EV or back to an ICE vehicle. That's what they call it, internal combustion engine. At that point, hey, Mr. Customer, you bought this vehicle a year ago, or longer than that. I can only go based on values of today, and then Elon Musk did drop the price on some of these vehicles. It's some price adjustment. I can't honor that price. I can't honor what, I can't give you anything that you think this car was worth. I have to look at it today. And, yeah, you might owe around $80,000 because of your payments overall. You have to pay interest, but I can't value that. I can't put that into. I can't put that in today's value, so I have to go based off today's value. You offer them 50. At that point, it is difficult to kind of explain it. And I've been in a situation where you have to, and then customers do get upset, but at the end of the day, you have to go as today's values. You can't predict next week. You can't predict a month from now that car values are going to go up, which they never did. Before, this past 3 years has been total opposite. You can buy a vehicle brand new, drive it for a year, and guess what? You sold it, got your money back plus some. At that point, it doesn't work like that no more. And yeah, it's really interesting, really interesting. There's already a projected average for next month. So it's already saying that it's 50,500. So you have to kind of factor that in. There's going to be a $1,200 deduction projected for next month. That's really interesting. But I did want to do this kind of example to see how far MMR is. So for example, this one in particular, this one had an MMR 70,096, and the CR on this one was 2.1. And for a reference point, this is northeast. So let's just do northeast. And then this one was white. Boom. So this one, as you can tell right here, MMR adjusted due to a deduction on miles, close to 5,800. And then also for a low CR, that's a $5,000 deduction as well. It puts the MMR at roughly around $10,000 difference between what it would be. So adjusted MMR is 40,800. But since now you have to factor in, hey, you're getting a 2020 Model X, at a discounted price. Yes, the car has damage, but now the car is being sold cheaper than compared to the other ones. A higher, cleaner one like a 5.0, which I can do a breakdown on that too. If you see right here, the car sold for what is that? That's close to $2,600 more, on that, than what adjusted MMR was. So then there was some interest in that vehicle, and then there was some buyers showing up, and they paid up for that vehicle itself. Now it's important to understand that whoever took this vehicle, whoever to the auction, whoever the owner was, or it could have been Tesla itself that was selling it as a trade-in, could have been a bank selling it as a repo, or it could have been a dealership selling it as a trade-in. They took this vehicle based off of this MMR, at that point. So if you were to remove the grade in the region, you can see right here that the MMR was 46,000, and I will let you know that the vehicle, that it's trading at a big negative, just due to the miles, at that point. So now someone could have probably got that in, looked at the body panels and said, hey, this vehicle is not what it is. At that point could have been like, hey, like, vehicle not what it is. Let's deduct. Let's just give it some room. We don't know. They could have taken the vehicle in at a 40K. Now they did. Customer understood that, hey, at that point I did drive it, so I understand that. I put a lot more miles. That's where that deduction comes from. So a lot of factors coming into it, but I do want to do one with a 5.0, right? So if you see right here, this one is 13,300, and then this one scored 4.1. So that's an add-on right there. So now you see right there, that's literally MMR at that time. Yeah. So the vehicle brought MMR when it got sold at that time. So yeah, it's really interesting. This the demand. Now it could be that the fact that, hey, anything under 40, anything around 40 is bringing a lot more premium compared to 60K. I'll only get you the premium, because if you look even right here, not a lot of them traded that's except this one right here. This one was in Nashville. 28,000 miles, 4.5, a lot much cleaner car, 60,000. But if you see, not all of them are, none of them are pretty much trading around that number, except only two in the past month, right? So we have 50,000, 43. So it's a really interesting vehicle. It is an EV. Maybe people are trying to switch. You just don't know. And then Elon did give it a price adjustment recently, so really interesting to see how it plays out. And do you think Elon's going to do another price adjustment on these vehicles just so you can capture some more market? I don't know, man. Leave your comments, on this video. Also, you have another vehicle that you want me to see, please post it and in my comments, and I would be sure to do that vehicle. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.